Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to call the March Steering Legislative and Governmental Committee meeting to order. First item of business, we need to approve the minutes from our last meeting and call on Vice Chairman and Commissioner Gooch.
I've read those minutes and I approve that they be accepted.
A motion, do we have a second? Motion and a second. Mr. Sandlin, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we need to announce 4 vacancies on the Equalization Board. Laughlin Uri, David Adams, Albert Nelson, and James Baker. And the next on the agenda is the social media policy. Brian, Sonia?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, is there a term limit on those, or is it not a term limit on those?
I'm sure that there is, but I do not know what that is.
I couldn't remember myself, so that's why I asked. We can look at that up, but anyway, we're announcing it, so they've got to put in their applications and we'll fill it next month. So.
Right.
I don't think there is a term limit.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, last month we brought the county government social media policy before you, and upon suggestion we took it back to make some additional changes and also ran it back through the county attorney's office one more time. And if there's any other questions or concerns, we will review the using the logos.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I spoke to them prior to the meeting, and I want to bring it up to the meeting here that I have got a concern that on blogs, on social media, things like that, as we're talking here, that we need some way to prevent the county employee from utilizing the county seal or department patch or department, some way that actually identifies the employee as a county employee. That way they're not actually on other websites doing things they shouldn't be doing or saying things that they shouldn't be saying, where it actually brings to light where they're a county employee. I think that shows distaste sometimes if a county employee, and the reason I bring this up, for my prior employment, we had a situation come up where someone was actually utilizing the department patch as a symbol on their blogs. Nobody, I mean, I'm not wanting to violate the First Amendment right by no means, because they can say what they want to say. But what I'm getting at is there a trademark issue? Is there an issue as far as utilizing like the county seal or a county patch or something like that? And I think that needs to be addressed in this, where, I mean, an employee or a person can say what they want to say, but that doesn't mean that they should be able to utilize those trademarks or whatever in saying them. You know, it gives a false impression out there to the citizens that may see that, you know, the whole county thinks this, when it may be one person. And if that's in there, or if it can be put in there where that can be addressed, where I think we need to have it in there, you know.
We put in there, it says the use of a county email address, job title, uniform, official county name, seal, or logo shall be deemed an attempt to represent the county in an official capacity. Earlier, at the beginning of it, we deemed official capacity as being someone who's a constitutional officer, employee, intern, or volunteer would be an employee, or that they were in their job description allowed to be someone in their official capacity to do so. Because the job descriptions would say you are authorized to create social media, Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And currently, I don't think any of our job descriptions authorize that, other than someone in the Department of Technology. So they would have to ask for permission for that. But then it goes on to say, other communications leading an average viewer to conclude that a posting was made in an official capacity should also be deemed an attempt to represent the county in an official capacity. So that was one of the areas where we mentioned that.
Probably as close as we came to addressing
Yeah.
it.
So
Specifically what you're talking about.
So that language, you feel like could address the concern I've got?
I don't know if it would be detailed enough in order that if somebody did it that, you know, we didn't say, do not do this. It says that if you do it, please make sure that you're in the official capacity. The official capacity, we determined was based upon their job description, or they're directed to do so by their director, department head, Department of Technology, and that they have expressed permission to do so from the county mayor and from Brian. But in that one phrase, I don't think we said it as clearly as what you're speaking of.
I mean, I think it needs to be addressed. I mean, with the world the way it is as far as the social media, you know, and I know the school system probably doesn't fall under this, but, you know, it'd be the same as a teacher getting on there and using the XYZ school site
Exactly.
and talking about things they don't need to be talking about. You know, that should be the same way with the county general employees. You know, we are all professionals, and we need to act as professionals, and even though we have our opinions, we have a right to address our opinions, you know, through the First Amendment. But it's how we're representing ourselves and how we address those opinions. So,
Now, I think the scenario, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. The scenario you just gave there with the school, let's say it was a county seal, based upon what you have written in here, it would cover that. If somebody was to do that, that would be grounds for termination or disciplinary action, right?
And we did pose that in there, that if they
use
misused
the
it, that they
seal.
would be, a couple of things could happen. One, that they could be banned for using the county's technology, period, which means that they wouldn't have access to the internet, and based upon some people's job roles, that would be an essential function of the job. If they couldn't complete the essential function of the job, then they wouldn't have a job. So that's one scenario. The other is based upon the type posts they make, how blatant it is, you know, they may be terminated for it, or there may be discipline for it. Where we talk about official capacity, we just say that the communications are based upon the employee's role, authority to do so, and or position within the county. So I don't know, I mean, there's several areas we touch on it, but I don't know that we're as in-depth as Commissioner Farley speaks to.
Maybe since the county attorney's office has become quite familiar with this document, we could go back to Josh McCreary and relay that concern, and maybe it's a quick fix. Maybe he can say, add a little language in there to firm that up, and maybe it does get into trademark or logo issues or copywriting issues where we need to officially declare which images are valid representations of county official proceedings, just like Coca-Cola trademarks their logos. It may be that we have to kind of officially adopt what are the official items that really do. And then if you had somebody, the advantage to clearly identifying those is if somebody did make up their own seal and made up the seal and it kind of looked like the county seal, well, it wouldn't say at the bottom this is an official trademark of the county government, or if it did, then they're misrepresenting they have a legal issue, I would imagine, at that point, because then they're actually misrepresenting the truth very, very, very clearly. So maybe there's a quick fix, and if not, we've been slow. We've been diligent throughout this entire thing, and we can wait and we can bring it back next month.
Yeah, and if it's something that's a quick fix, I wouldn't have a problem in sending this on to the, on to the county commission, and during the time between now and then, that way we're not slowing down the process. It's just, it's something that I've actually seen to be a problem, and or have the perception to be a problem. And I just thought we might need to address it before it, and it's not happened that I know of in county government, that I know of, so, but it could be. And, you know, I've dealt with it before, you might say, and I thought, well, if we could fix it now instead of fixing it later.
Well, if the body wouldn't be opposed, we can go ahead and take that recommendation to the county attorneys and put that in if you want to move it forward. And then once we get that done, I'll try to get that to you
Yeah.
tomorrow or the next day, and I will send it out independently to each of you.
And
I
it
don't
could
know
be
if
that.
that's acceptable or not.
That may be the only thing, if there's more, stuff that might take a little longer, I mean, some more concerns than some of the other members here, so.
I think that's could be a pretty quick fix, and I don't see why we couldn't go ahead and send it on to the commission and let them make that change or discuss that at the commission meeting, but.
With that, I'll make the motion that we approve the document with that language being added in there to fix before the county commission meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Anybody need clarification on what that motion is? Are we good?
First of all, I want to thank y'all for an excellent job on this, in putting this document together.
Absolutely. All's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all very, very much. Under any other business, for information purposes only, passed around, Commissioner Allen brought some draft guidelines based on a discussion that we had last month. If you all recall, we had intended on putting this on the agenda for our March meeting. However, Commissioner Allen and Cole Russell were not able to get together since that time. So we're going to try and shoot to put that on the April agenda. But Commissioner Allen wanted to go ahead and she had typed these up for us to look at and give us another month to review these, and we can discuss them in April. Is that all right with the committee? Deal.
Sounds good.
I had a question about our commission rule, and maybe I've got the old copy. I don't have the new one where we had tinkered with it and changed the end of the commission year to where something can't hang over to the next committee. But it said in Rule 1H, I think it was Rule 5, that you can do a motion to defer. Any adopted motion to defer shall specify when the motion shall be reconsidered. And I think our motion last month specified that it would be discussed at this meeting. It says that any deferral shall not exceed 2 consecutive commission meetings. I think that was the part where we had changed it a little bit. But when the motion, which is the subject of the deferral, is again considered by the board, it shall not be subject to any further or other motion to defer and shall be acted upon by the board. So I think that if we set it on this month's agenda by the vote we took last month, I think we need to do something with it tonight. And I
Well,
don't think we can defer it again.
This also states 2 commission meetings, so that means full commission meetings, not subcommittee meetings. So deferring it, you can actually, we've just deferred it once, and it says 2 consecutive.
That
So
means
we're in line.
your motion can't make it go out more
But
than
you-
2 meetings. But it says that the motion to defer shall specify when the motion shall be reconsidered.
Mhm.
And I think you made the motion that it be set on this month's agenda. And when the motion, which is the subject of the deferral, is again considered, it shall
Mhm.
not be subject to any further or other motion to defer, and
Mhm.
shall be acted upon by the board.
Well, one of the main intents here is getting with the Director of Election Commission, and you haven't gotten with the Director of Election Commission. So it's a major, major event for some committee to go into a whirlwind down spiral that we don't want to happen. They need some direction from the election director. And I see on your draft guidelines, they look pretty good from what, just 1, 2 I've read. You know, one including the county attorney or the designatee to come in and give you, you know, what the private act is, what ins and outs on that. So I hadn't, like I said, I hadn't finished reading the rest of it, but you've got to have input from the Director of Election Commission. So, I mean, that's a definite. And I'd imagine, you know, I made a statement last month that it's going to be tough for her to, with the primary going on and all that, but, you know, surely y'all can get together. But I think you went out for a week, and she's been busy too, so when's the election, next week?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, tomorrow, okay. Okay, well, we're close. But maybe after that, you know, y'all can get together and sit down and have a good talk. So I believe we're on the line. I don't have any problem with it. I don't want to rush anything on this thing, and we're, I know you want to get it right too, so.
Commissioner
I
Allen,
don't
do you
have
think
any
you could-
problem with coming back next month, so.
Do you think you could meet with Miss Lester within like the next 10 days before the commission meeting?
Yeah, I mean, as long as she's willing, I can make it work.
I don't think she's gonna be as busy after tomorrow. I would think not.
I'm not gonna tell you your schedule, but I think it's fine for you to come back next month and be all right. So I'm with you. Do we need a motion, or is it okay to come back next month?
Follow your lead.
Well, it's not on the agenda, so that's why I'm saying.
I think it should have been on the agenda because we voted to put it on there last month by deferring this a month. I mean, I don't want to split hairs and fight over little things, but the committee voted last month to put it on this month's agenda.
Well, the person that's bringing it to us didn't put it on the agenda because she hadn't talked to the Director of Elections.
We
It's
voted
pretty
to
simple.
put it on the agenda last month, Commissioner.
Yes.
We voted to put it on the March 5th agenda.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we defer to next month then when you get all your information in line.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion on the motion?
This looks good, I like it.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No,
Director show, 1 no. Motion passes. Any other business?
I got a question. It says communities of interest in districts, that is groups of people united by common social, political, social, economic, or ethnic characteristics as defined by Jason Barbaras of Harvard University and Southern Illinois University in his paper, Redistricting Principles and Racial Representation. Can somebody, so what we're going, so the districts would be, you know, a political party?
No, the only reason,
Definition of communities of interest.
yeah, I was trying to define.
Mr. Chairman, I think we need to suspend rules and let Ms. Allen come up here, Commissioner Allen.
All those in favor?
Well, we really got it on the agenda for next month. I mean, I'm really, I think this is enough.
I can answer your question after the meeting.
Okay.
I think this was a definition of communities of interest.
I will draw my
Mr.
motion.
Black, okay.
Are you asking if there's anything else?
Anything else? Fish fry?
Not a fish fry. All this growth on my head is coming off next Friday, the 16th. So go to www. Bald in the Burrow. It's for kid cancer, child cancer, our fundraiser at Lanes, Trains, and Automobiles. Go on that and go to Commissioner Goes Bald, and you can donate money, get my haircut, because it's coming off next Friday, 16th anyway. So some of you've already given anyway, so I
Is it
appreciate
gonna be
that.
to the skin?
Yes, almost like that. You knew I was gonna say
I
that.
knew.
Had to put that plug in. Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
If you send it to budget, so it really doesn't address. I don't know what he's into. So it doesn't really address what the committee, how long the committee can let it hang.
What rule were you reading from, Commissioner Stevens? You said I couldn't remember.
It's under Rule 1, Section H, number 5.
Rules of the board.
What's Rule 7 say?
Mine doesn't have a Rule 7.
You may not have the updated version then. There's a Rule 7 for committees, general talking about. There's nothing that specifies what the committees do in that.
Is that the new part of the rule that we put in?
This is just from the minutes from the, yes, sir, from the March 7th, 2011.
Okay. Where we put in there that you, a motion or, well, not a motion, but a subject can't go beyond a year, basically, of not being addressed.
That's how I recall it.
Yeah.
Because when committees change,
Yeah.
committees can overlook something.
Well, there was something on the table,
Right.
they got deferred again and didn't get addressed under the new
Standing
committee, right, and so it was kind of
I
never
let
brought
me-
back up, and I
Yeah.
forgot really what committee it was, to tell you the truth, I don't remember
I
what,
don't remember about that.
but
Let me-
anyway.
Let me
yeah.
just say, based on this situation, I apologize if I did not put it back on the agenda, because Mr. Stevens' right, we did ask to bring it back up, and I received an email from Commissioner Allen stating that she didn't have any, they weren't able to get together, so there wasn't any further information, so I
Yeah.
took the liberty of leaving it off the agenda, and I apologize for leaving it off the agenda. However, we did talk about it under other business. We've got a motion and a second to send it to next month. If we're out of order from the rules that Commissioner Stevens read from, we'll bring it up on the floor of the commission. So it won't go to consecutive commission meetings, but I don't think we are. But we'll look into that.
As long as you brought it up on any other business, I think legally, you've done in what, I wasn't here last month, I'm thinking you've done what you should have done as far as on other business.
We'll make sure that we're following all the rules that we have to
Right.
abide by. Any other business?
And speaking of that, I wasn't here last month at the meeting, and I apologize. I had to do something that I didn't really care about doing, but for my job. But there was some. Are we bringing back up if on these boards the application process of some about being late or
Next month.
is that next month?
Next month.
Okay.
Any other business? Seeing none, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.